Okay, I'm not going to lie. I've been trying to record some videos for at least like 2 hours now, and I tried to record like three, but none of it really worked out. Like, none of it felt good enough to actually record and start editing it. And I had to stop the recording at halfway at each video, which is kind of a struggle, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes the words doesn't really come out your mouth the right way. It doesn't really feel energetic, and it doesn't really feel good. And this is why I just wanted to sit down and talk, and maybe this talk will help me get back into the flow and will help me really just spit some thoughts out again as we did last time, and just continue these basic talks about content and how we use it. So last time we talked about like authentic videos and what makes somebody authentic. Now I really want to showcase how you can use this knowledge, and where is production then in a video. So if we have somebody who is authentic, where is the production, where is the high quality video editors, where is the thumbnail designers, where is the script writers in that, right? So first, let me talk about the YouTube automation space. That space means that you really don't create your own videos. You hire somebody else to create videos for you. It's like documentaries or sport videos, and you upload it to YouTube. It's not your brand, it's another brand, and you upload it to YouTube, and you make a lot of money from that because you make AdSense, you create viral videos, and you can create it without sacrificing your own time because you just pay somebody to research the whole video, you pay somebody to write the whole video, you pay somebody to record the voiceover, you pay somebody to edit the video, and you pay somebody to create thumbnails, and you pay somebody to upload the videos. So it's a lot of people you have to pay and manage. It's insanely hard, but could be very, very lucrative business. And what I why I introduced this to you, if you already don't know what YouTube faceless channels and things like this do, is you need a lot of people for this because it's not your brand. It's a brand that you build, and it's a very good thing to do. I actually love this side of YouTube as well to a certain extent, but if you are your own brand, of course you have to be authentic. You already know that. So who do you hire, what do you hire, and how do you build out your team? I see a lot of people and like want to build a personal brand and come in and just hire a lot of bunch of people, everything they need, and they can't really do anything because they are not authentic. That's the name of the game. Always. Last video it was, not this video it was, and it will be. But this is what everything matters. This is why everything matters. So firstly, let's talk about editors. This is the first thing that you will probably hire if you do it right, and this is why I'm talking about them first. In terms of editing, you really don't want to look for people who edit for the sake of editing, like Imangazi videos or other style of videos, because it won't really give you the same vibe. Your editor has to be your right hand, and your editor has to be a very, very good YouTuber as well. He is not just an editor, he is a YouTuber as well. Of course, you are the mastermind behind all of your content and all of your brand, but your editor has to be on page on what we want to achieve with the brand. Like, it's not a you thing anymore, it's a us thing. Like, you and your editor, you are the main guys who need to understand what your brand is about. Like, you can't send videos to an editor and expect them to actually create something amazing without giving them any guide, any knowledge, any ideas, any directions, and anything, any like descriptions. And if you hire a cheap editor who just edits the videos like Iman Gadzi would, and it turns out fine, but on YouTube it doesn't really good. It doesn't do really good because yes, it's a great editing, but it doesn't stick. We talked about this last video. So you and your editor has to work really, really close together, and you have to give a lot of respect to your editor because he is grinding. Editing is a grinding job. Like, it's a lot of grind, but it's beauty as well. And I will probably have a whole video about editing because this is what I do. But you have to understand as a creator that editing is insanely hard. And making a good video out of your shit script is not an easy task. So make sure to get good editors and make sure to not treat them like editors. You have to treat them like your right hand, like your content guys, main content guys. And later down the line, when you have a main content guy, then you can have just basic editors, but you have to have an editor who is very, very good. The next thing is thumbnail designers. Thumbnail designers are important, especially nowadays, because everything is going like, I have 5 thumbnails for this video and I'm creating 8 split tests to find out which thumbnail is the best, and I'm posting on Twitter which thumbnail will you click. And yes, it's respectable because it gives a lot of job to a lot of people. A lot of designers get a lot of job from that because they have one client and that one client makes one video a week. And like 2 years ago, they had to create one thumbnail, and nowadays they have to create 3 thumbnails for one video. So it's triple the money for them, and I love it. It's good for them. And I actually love that YouTube is going more and more serious. But on the other side, there are some other creators who doesn't really have any thumbnail designers, who just put pictures together or doesn't even have a thumbnail and still generate millions of views. So it's all about thumbnails. It's all about what you are packaging in the video. What is the topic? And as packaging means title and thumbnail for most people, but it's wrong. It's not just titles and thumbnails. It's title, thumbnail, and concept. What is your video idea? Because if your video idea is good enough, then anybody will click it. It doesn't have to have a good thumbnail and a good title. And if you have like a good concept and a good title, then having a bad thumbnail could be, of course, could be the reason why you get lower views, but also people will click it because you have an insane concept and an insane title. And the other way around is good as well. If you have a good title and like an insane concept, it's okay, it's going to work, but title is, I believe, more important in terms of catching the attention, but it's easier as well. Like you can easier make a good title than a good thumbnail. So a thumbnail designer is almost every time needed, but it shouldn't stop you from doing things that you want to do. Like if you're starting out and you are a rich business owner, you can probably get a thumbnail designer and you can probably get an editor when you start out. But if you're not, you can do everything yourself, and if you have a little bit of money, get an editor and do the rest of yourself, because editor is very important, thumbnail designer is very important on YouTube. But if you create business content or you create content for a specific niche, you can get away with simple pictures and like good looking pictures, but it doesn't have to be photoshopped well. You just have to have great looking pictures, like aesthetic pictures, you know, because still the name of the game is getting a good idea and a good concept for the video and then getting it out. And now let's talk about the least favorite part of personal branding in YouTube right now: scriptwriters. For me, scriptwriters can be good. Scriptwriters are good for some reasons and I hate them for some reasons. Right now in personal branding, a lot of rich people want to get ahead of others while creating many great videos, but they can't do that alone. So they hire good editors, thumbnail designers. That's good, but they hire scriptwriters as well, and that's a big mistake and a big red flag in my opinion. If they hire scriptwriters, the traditional scriptwriters that they use in YouTube animation and in the faceless channels of YouTube, where they just go from zero and write out a whole script for you. And the reason why is personal brand is about personal things, about your experiences, about your learnings, about your knowledge. Let's say an easy example is that you are a millionaire and you want to create a video about 7 habits that you do to become a millionaire. And yes, that's a pretty overused topic on YouTube, but you create that video and you have 7 habits that you did. And now you give this thing to a scriptwriter who is probably working from India or third country and is 16 years old and haven't really made any money, and you just gave him money to write 6 habits that made you a millionaire. And he will probably look at Google and he will probably look at YouTube, but it's not your experiences. You didn't become billionaire or millionaire because of the things that this guy wrote to you. You know what you did to become a millionaire. So how can somebody else write the habit for you instead of you when they don't know what you did to achieve this? And even if you say to them like, I worked out every day, and they will write the script, I worked out every day, but they might not know why is that made you a millionaire. It probably made you a millionaire because it teached you how to become consistent. But he might write that being fit made you a millionaire. So it's two different things. And the scriptwriter doesn't know. Now, there are some people who use scriptwriters as a way to research things. Like if you create videos about documentaries and not your personal experiences, but like history and things like that, yeah, a scriptwriter could save you a lot of headache. But probably 90% of the time, if you have a personal brand, you don't really need a scriptwriter early on, especially early on, because later on, okay, you want to improve your videos, you want to create the volume, it's good. But if you hire a lot of people early, and that's for thumbnail designers and editors as well. If you hire a lot of people early, you don't figure out what works for you. You don't become the master of your craft. Everybody will carry you to the top. They will just carry you. And if they leave, you are back at zero because you haven't learned anything. You may created like 10 videos, and those 10 videos got good views because of the editing, because of the thumbnails, because of the script. And now maybe the scriptwriter leaves and you are searching for another scriptwriter, but you can't really find another scriptwriter. You are screwed because you don't know what made a good script. They just sent you the script, you just read it out loud, you didn't know what it made. Maybe editor leaves and now you don't have anybody to edit the videos. You put out a raw video and nobody watches it because nobody cares, because it doesn't interest them. Because what made it interesting was the editing, and now your editor left, so you don't know how to make the things interesting. And maybe you can't even get people watching because your thumbnail designer leaves and nobody will watch the video. Nobody will click on it because it won't be interesting. So it all comes down to you having knowledge in the game. And then if you have knowledge in the game, then you can hire editors and thumbnail designers and scriptwriters to help you create better videos, to help you put you on the next level, because you know, oh, this worked for me, so as you are an editor, how can we improve this? Like, I know fast-paced works for my audience and me. How can we improve this together? And then the editor will know, okay, fast-paced works for him, so let's focus on this, but add this, do that, and you will have a better video. And if the editor leaves, you will just hire a new one and tell him that, okay, we did this, so please continue this. And you have to know actually what is going on your content business to be able to improve, because you don't want to start at zero. It's a skill that you learn. You learn how to be in front of the camera. You learn how to hook people. Like in the early days, I wrote a lot of my hooks and scripts like fully. And I needed that. But then I realized that writing the full script is not good enough for me. So I just wrote some notes and I just started to going off. Like I have some notes and I just talking and I'm going off. And right now I haven't even wrote any notes for this video. This is just a journal for me, so it doesn't matter. But right now my process is like just writing out the title, the thumbnail, thinking about things, and then just recording the hook. I don't even write my hook down. And sometimes I look at big videos and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is an actually good hook. And it just came from my mind. Like, I haven't even wrote down. I didn't really think about it. I just pressed record and a good hook came out of my mouth. So this means that I improved as an editor, as a content creator, not just an editor, but as a content creator. So this means I improved as a content creator and I got better. I'm not at zero anymore because I don't have to write my hooks and I don't have other people write the hooks for me. And of course, there will be thousands of ways to say the things better. than I say it, but this is the name of the game, to improve and improve and improve, so you become better, and this is your story and this is your brand. And this is why you just can't hire everybody and accept great results. And yes, you might have like monetary results, like some views here, some views there, and yeah, you can make a lot of money. But if you want to build an actual brand and you want to build your own personal brand, which is a new thing, then you have to improve yourself. And this is when the question comes, like, what is the balance of authenticity and production? Like, where do you draw the line? What is too much production? What is too little production? Where do we come in? Now, that I think about this is, of course, different for everybody. Like, what do you want to achieve? I see that YouTube and content creation is going raw and more raw again. Of course, it's like a circle. It's always going around. People get tired of what they have. Like, we have a lot of MrBeast videos, so slowly MrBeast videos will go out of style. And of course, I'm not saying he will not crack millions of views. He will, of course. But in terms of what will trend is probably another new style. And that new style is more raw. And after everybody is creating raw videos, then somebody who edits a good video and has insane animations will win again, because everybody else is watching raw videos and creating raw videos. So if you bring something new to the market, everybody will watch you. So YouTube works in cycles, and now we are going to the raw type of cycle. And this means that you don't need production, you don't need anything, you have to be authentic. And I think this is actually a great way to start. This is actually a great way to start. You just sit down and you talk about your topics. You talk about what you do, what you did, how you did it, and you become interesting yourself. And if you have a video that is interesting by itself, without any editing, without any crazy effects, then imagine how interesting video will be with the crazy effects, with the crazy animations, with a proper editor. But you don't start with having good video by crazy effects and the actual message and the actual saying audio of the video is bad. You start by creating a good audio, a good, very good message, and then increase the quality with editing. And this is why I love this right now. It's my journal, but it's also a way for me to practice my English, the way I present information. And it's a personal goal of mine to have the least cuts possible. And of course, sometimes I sneeze and I have to cut it out. But this is what I want to learn and eliminate, so I can speak English better in the future. And the more videos I create like this, the better I become. And I always edited my videos myself, of course, because I'm an editor. And I always created my own thumbnails because I was the thumbnail designer back then. So I really understand what works for my channel and what works for me and what works for other channels that I work with, because I worked with a lot of creators. If you don't have this understanding, you can't go anywhere. You can't innovate, because how can you innovate something that you don't know? Like, a good video is not just one thing, like not just about the editing. It's about the editing, sound, topic, animations, thumbnails, and how you present the information. Is the hook good enough? It's about a lot of variables. And if you don't know what are these variables, because you haven't even created a video yourself, somebody else wrote the script for you, you can't understand what you need to improve to have better videos. You don't understand that. You just see that, oh, I got this script, somebody edited for me, somebody uploaded for me with a good thumbnail, but it doesn't crack views. Why is that? Why I don't crack views? I have a lot of knowledge. I don't have any views. So why is that? And you don't know, because it might be the script, it might be the editing, it might be the thumbnail. You don't actually know. And this is why you have to figure out yourself. And this is why I love this raw format. But this raw format won't work for you and won't work for me. We are not crazy good enough. Like, I'm not crazy enough. I don't have as many interesting stories to actually build a brand upon this raw content. And this is why I have to be smart about it. This is why I have to teach something. This is why I have to have knowledge that others want to know. I have knowledge in content creations that others are interested in. They want to know how to create good content, and they know they can listen to me because I worked with many creators and I'm building channels myself. And they can look at my information and understand that I know what I'm talking about. And this is another topic of knowing what you talk about and being authentic. Again, it's all about authenticity. Raw content is hard to get it right. Like Sam Sulek is raw content, of course, is working because he's a big guy, he's an interesting guy. You are not that interesting as you think you are. And it's a sad reality. I have many crazy stories in my past when I played the guitar and I went to like festivals and concerts and competitions, and I had many crazy stories, and I will tell it someday, maybe on like podcasts or I don't know. The point is that right now I'm not interesting enough. So what I do is I give away information. I give away information on a specific niche and on a specific like idea. Like my channel, I teach editing. Of course, I'm teaching editors. I'm an editor myself, so I create editing tutorials as videos. And in those editing tutorials, I really think about what I did myself and what my experience was with the things and how I fixed my own problems. And I create videos about that, so I can solve other people's problems, and they will love me for it because I created videos that solve their problems. And I know it does because it solves mine. I'm not just thinking about like what problems do they have and I try to solve them from here. I actually solved it for myself, so I know what is the pain. I can't create videos about like how to build a house because I don't know the actual problems when building a house. I know the problems when editing a video, so I talk about what are those problems and how you can solve them. And you don't see that from the outside, and this is why you know somebody is bullshit and somebody is not bullshit. If somebody is talking about 7 side hustles that are gonna make you 10k a month and those side hustles are shit, you know they don't do any of them. They don't do any of them. So why would you listen? Why would you do it if they don't do any of them? Look at what they are doing. Like they are creating videos about 7 side hustles. So don't do the 7 side hustles. See that how they are creating videos and create videos. Do the same as the successful people. Don't do what they say, do what they do. And that will give you the actual thing that makes them rich or wealthy. Like Iman Gadzhi, he talks about like many things, but look at what he does. He does content, he does personal branding, he has a great personal brand and he's milking it like shit. But it doesn't matter right now. What matters is to create content that solves problems. And if you solve problems, people won't care if it's not good enough editing, because why would they need good enough editing? They just want their problem solved. Like I could upload a video about how to create sound design and not edit anything, and it would get a lot of views. In terms of lot of views, of course, not a lot of people edit videos if you look at the whole world, but in editor communities, it would be good because they get real information, because I made the mistakes and I'm teaching them to avoid the mistakes. And this is valuable. They don't need to have flashy effects to learn these. Like the flashy effects is good if you want to keep the attention. But if you have a good enough information, they will watch because they are interested. They don't have to be sold on editing. You don't have to be crazy at editing because they just want to see the information. Because if I want to see how to download videos from YouTube and there is a video like this, I don't care about like fancy editing and things like that. Just show me how the fuck do I download videos from YouTube. And if you have information like this, you can create good videos. And then you just need the basic editing. You just need like cut out mistakes and you don't even have to really think about things. And if you have a lot of money and like information, then you can hire an editor, and that editor will polish your videos, will polish the information in a way that is good to watch and is easy to enjoy. Because if I want to download YouTube videos and I get a good video which talks about how to download YouTube videos, but talks about how I can download music as well, and it makes it an easy to watch way and easy to understand and have clicks in the description, and it's so easy for me to not go through the whole objective of downloading videos. I got the answers, I got the websites in front of me. It's so easy for me. And this is why editors are actually good, Because if you would just record yourself how to upload YouTube videos and you have the knowledge but you don't have editors, you will talk and you are a beginner, maybe it will be a 10-minute video, but an editor can make a 5-minute video out of the 10 minutes and have the same information that you had in those 10 minutes with raw video. So this is why raw is good. I think it's a good trend that is coming right now. We need those raw videos to actually hear from good people. It's like talking to a friend, and this is why it's so good. So I advise to you to create these raw videos, but make simple edits, make it interesting somehow. And if you have the time, of course, good editing is always good, but it's more about like complementary editing, adding to the story, not just editing for the sake of editing, but adding to the story, make it more easy to watch, make it more enjoyable to watch, and that's the goal. That's the goal, to actually create good content and to have authenticity and production in your content, and to hire like editors, thumbnail designers, and scriptwriters. The last one, you shouldn't do that. Shouldn't hire scriptwriters, if you ask me. So this is my whole thought process for half an hour. It was a good way for me to really just chat with you again, and we'll chat with you more about content in the future. Again, I'm not doing this to get famous. I know that this type of content will not bring many views, but I do this for myself. I do this for my own skill improvement, and maybe there are some guys out there, and I know there are some guys out there who will benefit from this and who will love the type of videos that you can just put this in the background and do something else and actually listen to this like a podcast. And this is why I enjoy this. I create what I consume. Don't forget, authenticity will always win. So be authentic, and peace out.